Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Gary Summers, and welcome to Mind, Body, Soul, a show about your mental, physical, and spiritual wellness. Let me just ask a few questions for our listeners. How many of you thought your gas, bloating, acid reflux, stomach cramps, constipation were symptoms that you could manage by popping antacids or changing your diet? Has an invasion of toxic bugs hijacked your health? It sounds like something straight out of a science fiction movie. The idea that trillions of microscopic bugs could stage a toxic takeover of your gut and poison your health can be hard to believe. Incredibly, virtually all of the chronic diseases that afflict most of us today have been linked to the invasion of toxic microbes in your gut. Your GI tract is also home to a thriving population of approximately 100 trillion microbes like bacteria, fungi, and viruses. Experts seem to agree that an 85-15 ratio of probiotics and bad microbes like Candida is a healthy ratio, but any disruption in that, like too much sugar or antibiotics, and you create a potential landmine. Add the fact that 90% of serotonin is made in the gut and you find yourself down and anxious with brain fog. My guest today is the owner of the St. John's Fermentary. She studied holistic nutrition and has been a natural health consultant at the Natural Health Shop for 7 years. She started teaching fermentation workshops 3 years ago. They are heavily based around the gut health. Natural remedies for digestive health is her specialty. Through supplementation and incorporating fermented foods, she has helped many people get their health back from healing their gut. Welcome, Sondra Nurse.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
So, Sondra, just give our listeners a brief summary of what you're going to cover off today.
Well, essentially, I'll be talking about, like you said, digestive health, health issues in the gut, but also the St. John's Fermentary and the fermented foods that we offer to help assist any issues in the digestive tract.
Your business has exploded.
It's it's definitely doing well. As a shock, it's doing quite well. We're definitely expanding our different products, and we're selling more every day, and we're kind of flooded the St. John's market, and we're doing great with it. It's wonderful.
You're moving outside.
Yeah, it's wonderful.
I'm getting stories from your business that, I mean, you're getting calls from restaurants, from hotels, from I know Michelle Lee at Body Hot Yoga has your stuff on tap.
Yep, they carry our kombucha on tap, and so people who go to a yoga class can have a mason jar or a water bottle, and they could just get some there, or people can come in off the street and get some there on tap.
Sondra, tell us about your background and how you got involved in natural health.
Yeah, so basically I got involved in natural health in quite a common way with, I used to have like sensitive skin, had some hormone issues, and then got involved with it through food and just more holistic body products. I started working at the Natural Health Shop on Stavanger Drive about 7.5 years ago, and I did holistic nutrition and natural health consulting in school, and just got so much experience from working at the Natural Health Shop, dealing with people's common health issues every single day and helping them with anything from skin issues to more difficult diseases, I guess you could say, and then more common things, which is digestive health, which is something that I have very much self-proclaimedly specialized in. So I very much work very, very hard with the digestive segment, with helping people with their health, because it's the most important thing. And a lot of people, especially in Newfoundland, have really, really havoc digestive tracts just from not having the knowledge or taking too much medications that maybe aren't as necessary, and also food, which is a huge one. So that's one of the ones that I've definitely specialized in, was digestive health.
Because I know enough to be dangerous. You know enough to be knowledgeable and help people. Can most chronic diseases and issues, inflammation, come from the gut, from the GI tract?
There is definitely lots of proof out there that a lot of the issues that people have, like very common issues that you think is something more, it comes from digestive health issues. If you have a weak digestive tract, you cannot one, digest your food, two, absorb the nutrients, and then it also makes a lot of discomfort. And there's lots of things that come from that, certain pathogens, bad yeasts and bacteria like candida, all of these things, and even parasites. Like there's a lot of bad diseases and health issues that can come from having a digestive tract that has a lot of those issues.
Tell us about the St. John's Fermentary. You know, how you started your business, and I guess you didn't expect it to explode
Well,
the way it has. I guess people are looking at this and saying, "Wow, this is something that's really needed," and we're just so grateful that we can get you on the show to steer people in the right direction. So just give us a little bit of a background on how this all started.
It was definitely needed here. We're the first fermentary in Newfoundland, and we sell fermented foods, of course. Mainly kombucha was what we started with, and then we also sell things like sauerkraut and preserved lemons and sourdough breads on occasion. So obviously, like, fermentation is my thing. I'm obsessed with it, and it does give so many benefits for so many reasons. But I started with it because as I became more knowledgeable in digestive health and holistic nutrition and healthier options and things like that, I started to do fermentation myself. I actually got different cultures and stuff from one of my friends years ago, and it just exploded. Fell in love with it. Started teaching workshops under a name called Homemade Health a long time ago, probably like 3 years ago. I started teaching workshops, teaching people how to make these fermented foods like sauerkraut, kombucha, all that type of stuff. And it was not only based on, hey, here's the process, here's how you make it. It was also, here's why you should have it. Here's why you should incorporate it in your lifestyle, and here's the benefits of it. Then it got to a point where people just sort of didn't want to make it themselves. Not everybody has the time.
Sure.
I mean,
Absolutely.
some of this stuff takes months to ferment. You're waiting for months. So basically I said, okay, I'll start making it for you guys. And
Went from there.
it went from there. I started with one small 50 liter brewer, like a very small amount, and expected to only make kombucha, the Natural Health Shop kombucha made by the St. John's Fermentary. And then before I even got my first bottles on the shelf, I had other local businesses, local cafes, especially local health shops like Simply for Life and Food for Thought, all the more health-oriented places here in Newfoundland contact me and wanted it before I even had it available. Then we blew from there.
And you brought some samples of kombucha, and I tried it, and I have to say, I could drink this because I am but I have a very low tolerance for certain things. Like my wife can take apple cider vinegar. I can't. I just tried it. I just can't do it. And I've tried some kombucha from other places, and I just couldn't drink it. It just tasted too vinegary, or there was something that was off with it. So let's talk about the benefits of fermented foods, or fermentation, but also what makes your product different from something you would buy elsewhere.
Well, essentially when you're dealing with more, I guess, commercial brands, you're dealing with them looking for shelf stabilization. So they do different chemical filtrations, they do different pasteurizing methods. There's different methods that come into play that make it shelf stable. And that, unfortunately, it gets rid of all the benefits you get from kombucha, and then you're just left over with a bit of sugar tea is essentially what you get.
So you don't pasteurize?
We don't pasteurize.
You use all organic products?
Everything is organic, and the only things that aren't organic are the local berries we use, like bake apples and blueberries and things like that. But everything is organic, and it definitely does make a difference, because then you have all the probiotic profiles and the prebiotics and the digestive enzymes, and there's even certain nutrients that are made. The balance of bacteria and yeast creates lots of like B vitamins and helps your body assimilate certain nutrients. So that you lose in pasteurized products, and that goes for anything. If you eat sauerkrauts, if you eat even yogurts, if you kefirs, kvases, whatever, if it's pasteurized, then you're kind of getting rid of the benefit.
MJ Brown was on a while ago, and you know MJ. MJ said dairy is not for human consumption.
Well, it's meant for a cow. It's really not meant for human consumption.
So when my wife asked me to ask you about yogurt, and I know sugar plays a big problem with gut health. How much should we eliminate dairy from our diet?
Like I'm not gonna lie, I'm not dairy free at all. I mean, I'm quite a big self-proclaimed chef. I work with dairy a lot, but from a health perspective and in a perfect world, no, you're not supposed to have dairy. It's especially factory farming, which is like so much different than if you were to have raw milk or even organic. Like when you're dealing with factory farming, you're dealing with pusses, ladens, hormones, and also the unhealthiness of the animal because of the way that they're treated. So unfortunately, dairy in that sense is no, it's not good for the digestive tract. It very much causes inflammation and triggers other issues in the body.
So why would someone want to start to take kombucha?
Well,
what are the benefits that people are going to see from that?
So the main ones you'll notice right away is digestive health. So basically when you have fermented foods, especially like kombucha, your body starts to get the certain enzymes it needs and different probiotics and other benefits, and you start to slowly see an improvement of your digestive tract. But also, one of the main reasons why we started the St. John's Fermentary was because it's a great way to get rid of soda. It's naturally effervescent. It's not super high in sugar. Any sugar that's in it is from the natural fruit or organic sugar. So it basically, it's a great way to get rid of soda. So you're not only incorporating the good benefits that come with having fermented foods, especially kombucha in your lifestyle, you're also getting rid of another beverage that you would be drinking that is not as beneficial.
Sondra, give us a basic, simple explanation of what kombucha is.
Of course. So essentially it is a fermented tea. Okay. So we use all different types of teas, green teas, white teas, black teas, and that undergoes a fermentation process that basically converts all of the caffeines and the sugars and everything into different acetic acids and different vitamins and probiotics and good bacteria, good yeast, everything your body needs from fermented foods. And what you're left with is actually kombucha, and it's naturally effervescent, it's naturally fizzy, and it's much, much lower in sugar than, say, other things you would eat. The converting process is done by something called a SCOBY, a symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast, and that is what undergoes the fermentation.
Right. Sondra, you referred to kombucha as a fermented tea. Can you drink it hot or cold? Because when I tasted it, it was cold.
Well, no, you would drink it cold. So when I say fermented tea, sometimes people get scared of like, oh, tea, does that mean it has to be hot? I don't like tea. Like kombucha is tea, like beer is wheat. Kombucha was tea. It's not anymore. It's kombucha.
When you say a fermented tea, is it kind of a similar process to making homemade beer?
But the thing with kombucha that's so different from, say, beers is that it uses beer uses a lot of yeast. Kombucha is more of a bacterial ferment, so therefore there is not alcohol created. It's the other bacterias and different like carbonations and things like that. So it's not alcohol that's performed. There is a tiny bit, but it's an immeasurable amount. It's very small.
So if people have issues with bloating, constipation, gut health, would people see a difference once they started using kombucha in their gut health?
Yeah, well,
and how fast would that occur?
Well, I definitely don't want to go giving any false testimonies out there, but from personal experience, I have had a lot of customers who have gained a lot of health benefits from drinking kombucha or having fermented foods in their diet, especially like the ginger kombucha, because ginger is so good for stomach issues and nausea. And we have a lot of people that drink it daily because they have such health or gut issues.
And you've got so many varieties of flavors
we
too.
Do.
So if you don't like strawberry, you don't like ginger, you've got how many different flavors?
We have so many. So there are 6 bottled flavors. Elderberry, hibiscus rose, citrus, ginger, original, which is just raw kombucha, and Concord grape. But we also have our tap flavors, so the ones that you find on tap at the breweries or yoga studios or farmers markets, they are the ones that are very, very different. There's a variety of flavors. We use local ingredients. We use different herbs, different teas, different berries. There's an unmeasurable amount of flavors we have for on tap.
You have kombucha at alcohol events. And what made you think of that?
Well, so the main reason why I thought of it was for a really long time before I even opened up the St. John's Fermentary, I would make kombucha and kefirs that had...
What's a kefir?
It's a fermented water kefir. It's kind of like kombucha. It's just another fermented drink.
Okay.
But I basically used to add different ingredients in it to use it as cocktails. So I would mix like real lime and real mint and real organic sugar or honey and then I just mix it with rum and I got a mojito. Like, it's a lot better than the sugary syrups or sodas that you get out there. And so when...
So I'm not that far-fetched, rum and kombucha.
I know, right?
Right?
No,
That's a good idea.
not at all. We do these alcoholic events for multiple reasons. So we do them so, for one, you're gonna enjoy your cocktails sometimes. You do. People enjoy their drinks, and you want... The one thing that we don't want is, though, to mix it with soda or the sugary syrups you get to make all these different drinks. Like, why not just mix it with a specifically flavored kombucha? Like, we do a Newfoundland blueberry and Newfoundland juniper and mix it with gin. Like, you don't need to go buy the sugary syrups or the sodas to mix with it. We also do many different types of cocktails. That was just one. We also, the reason why we do alcoholic events is for a non-alcoholic option. And the people who introduced us to that actually, or gave us the idea, because we never ever thought we would ever be in breweries, but it was the owners of Landwash Brewery, Chris and Christina, who are absolutely amazing, and they're a local brewery in Mount Pearl. They basically said that they wanted a non-alcoholic option of kombucha on tap, and it's been doing really well. So we're super grateful that we're now in the brewery scene. I personally have always been in the alcoholic cocktail scene as a replacement for soda, but Now it's more incorporated into, hey, here's a way to not have alcohol too, if you don't want to drink, or if you're a driver. If you're someone that don't drink, if you're a driver, what's your only option when you go to a brewery? Soda or water. So it's either you drink something that's horrible for you, or you're stuck with water. So it's a good happy medium, that's for sure. And we love doing the alcoholic events because people are so interested in it, and they taste delicious. Like, we do a chaga root beer kombucha that we mix with chaga the mushroom, and we mix it with like vanilla, cinnamon, star anise, all the root beer type flavors, and mix it with rum, specifically chaga rum, and it is delicious. Well, like, why drink soda?
Hopefully that'll go with land.
Hopefully.
And it totally can.
So, Sondra, you're doing these big alcoholic events. Any other plans for the St. John's Fermentary?
Yeah, well, we're always changing, like, all the time, and we're definitely getting new products in and getting new flavors all the time and experimenting with different ferments. I've been doing many different fermentation products my entire, like, I guess, culinary career, self-proclaimed culinary career. And I work with lots of preserved lemons and sourdoughs and sauerkrauts, kefirs, kvases, all these types of fermented foods. We're eventually going to be having as many as we can of them with the St. John's Fermentary. There's a lot of licensing involved. There's a lot of permits, a lot of food testing. So it takes time, but we are at the point now where we sell a lot of kombucha, obviously, and then we also sell sauerkraut and preserved lemons now. So the next on the list is kimchi and maybe some fermented hot sauce or fermented salsas, which are things I do at home all the time anyway.
What places are you in right now? You
We're
said
in
the
many.
Natural health food store.
So first and foremost, the Natural Health Shop, my I guess birthplace of holistic nutrition, and we also sell at a lot of other local health stores like Simply for Life, but we also sell at Coleman's. So Coleman's, Belbin's, Rocket Bakery, the Grounds Cafe, the Battery Cafe, Landwash Brewery, which is a huge one, yoga studios like Bodhi Yoga, and so many more. Those are just a few. We've tried to flood the St. John scene, that's for sure. But we are always going to continue expanding, but we will never go beyond our local scene. Like, we're never going to become commercial. We're trying to get across Newfoundland now to get in the other breweries and cafes across the island. Like, we just got back from Corner Brook from a Newfoundland craft beer festival where we were the non-alcoholic option. And we made a lot of great connections with a lot of wonderful local business owners out there.
Because this is a family, this is your baby, right? I mean, this is your family business. You and
Yeah.
your boyfriend are involved.
Yeah, so
You're involved in all of it. So, you know, you know, the quality control here is pretty high.
Yeah, me and well, it's I'm the fermenter, I guess you can say, and then I opened the business with my boyfriend Joshua Quick, and I have my sister is my graphic designer, my brother-in-law is my bottler, my brother-in-law's girlfriend is my labeler, and friends and family. Like, it is very much family dominant, and we try to keep it that way because we want to be in control of the product and the quality. We'll never become mass production, or we'll never go outside of Newfoundland. Our loyalty is very much to the local scene here.
You've had some requests from some pretty large chains
We
to supply your product.
Yeah, we definitely have, but we want to keep things here. We're huge believers in local business and keeping Newfoundland's like local scene alive, and we don't want to get big to that extent, and I also want to remain in control of the product quality. Like, a lot of these times when things go mass produced, stuff gets missed, cheaper ingredients get put in to make it more I guess ethical for the bigger business, and then they put different processes to make it more shelf stable. Like, our shelf life is only 3 months. You can get some kombuchas that are, I can't even tell you the dates because some of them are ridiculous, but it's because they're not living anymore. So we definitely don't want to do the mass-produced scene. We want to stay local. We love what we do. We love being very much a part of that whole scene. And like the local markets and everything, like, we love the market life.
So support local entrepreneurs.
Always,
is really
always
what we
support
want,
local
we want to do.
entrepreneurs.
Sondra, great conversation. We're almost out of time. Can you sum all this up now and give people just a couple of little things that they can use right now to help themselves, particularly, I guess, when it comes to gut health?
Yeah, well, I guess essentially everything in moderation, but also incorporate different options into your life. So like kombucha, instead of having sodas, have something that's more fermented, or have a healthier option. Your digestive health is very much important to how you absorb your nutrients, to how you break down your foods. It assists all the inflammation in your body. Like, there is a huge reason why people need to incorporate more healthier lifestyle from all angles. Not just what you eat, not just fermented food specifically, but just everything. Like, there are different options out there, and always, when you can, support local. Like, people need to really realize that all of these local people, they have heart, and they're in it for a reason. Like, the people who run these health shops and cafes and health food stores, and even us, where we make fermented foods, like, we are not mass produced. Like, we are doing this because we love it, because we're good at it, and because we are very much in charge of quality.
You're very passionate. I can see
very
it.
much
I
so.
can see it in your face and in your voice and in your body language and everything. If someone wanted to get more information, like, do you have a website, a Facebook page?
Yes,
can someone go there to find out more about you and your work?
Yeah, so basically, I'm always at the Natural Health Shop. I still work there, and I won't be leaving anytime soon. So if you ever need me, I'm there. But also, the St. John's Fermentary, we have a Facebook page and an Instagram that we are very heavily in charge of, and we are on it all the time. And we also have like emails and phone numbers, and we're at the St. John's Farmers Market very often. Most Saturdays we're at the St. John's Farmers Market. Sometimes I'm not always the one that's there. It might be one of my employees, but we are definitely there. And at most of the markets, the night markets by Aaron Ballet, we are there all the time. That's Thursdays. So we're everywhere. It's very easy to find us.
So if someone went on Facebook and just searched the St. John's Fermentary, they'll get you.
Yeah, same for Instagram.
Sondra, thanks very much for taking the time out. You seem to be a very, very busy person, and it's nice that we can bring this kind of information to our listeners. We'll be back again next week with another very interesting guest. Bye-bye for now.
Amazing. Thank you.